Welcome, Mrs. Beilke, to the fourth CD interview. We're going to get started in a little bit. I'm going to warn you that these questions could be considered a tiny bit invasive, so you can decline to answer at any point. And Keaton's going to get us started off with the first three questions.
Okay.
All right. Could you spell your first name for me?
It's Emily, so it's Emily.
Could you spell your middle name?
It's Faye, it's Fay.
And could you spell your last name?
Beilke, it's B like boy, Eilke.
What is your favorite thing about science?
Oh, the body and how it works. I think it's so cool, like the nervous system and how your nervous system like does everything is very interesting to me.
Who is your favorite coworker?
Mrs. Wempen, she's my bestie.
Who is your least favorite coworker?
I don't think I have one. I don't really actually know a lot of the teachers here other than like their names and like saying hello in the hallway. So, I don't know.
Does free will exist?
Ooh, that's a good question. There's a whole argument within science that, like I said, the nervous system anticipates everything you're going to do, right? So it sends right before you do it a neurological or a neurotransmitter chemical to do that movement. So I don't know. That's a good question. I like to think it does, but at the same time, I'm not sure.
Do you believe your fate is woven into the fabrics of reality?
No, I don't think on the scale of this world with how many people there are, I don't think that me as a person is super important to reality or society or whichever woven word you said.
Do you know what bussin' means?
Is it the TikTok challenge? Is that it? No, then I don't know.
It's just like a word people say, like, that's bussin'.
It's like slang.
Oh, is it the word you taught me, like cap means lying?
Did I teach you that?
You did teach me that.
No, I didn't teach you.
No,
didn't
I
teach
don't
you
know
bussin'.
what that word means, which makes me feel old, even though I'm only
It means,
25.
like, good, like that food was bussin'.
Oh, I did not know that. There you go. Learn something new.
What is gas, quotation marks, mean to you?
Okay, well, when I think of gas, I think of farts. But I think that you guys mean it as, isn't that like it's gas, like it's a good thing,
Like,
right? Like,
cool.
yeah,
Like that's gas, bro.
yeah. Wow, I don't know. I feel very old.
What does FR mean to you?
Like if somebody were to text you.
Oh, for
FR.
real,
Okay,
right? For
yeah,
real, yeah.
yeah.
I know that one. I know some slang.
Are you completely content with yourself as of now?
Oh my gosh, no. I feel like there's always room for improvement. The moment that you become static and you are content, I think you are settling. I think there's always something you can do in life to make yourself dynamic and like a better person, whether that's to society or just to yourself. But like the whole purpose of living, I think, is to just to keep pushing your boundaries and see like how good can you make something, right? And the moment you stop doing that, I think you've just kind of settled for life.
What is your biggest contribution to the world?
Well, I'd like to think teaching is a good contribution. I try to be positive to everyone too. So I try to be nice, and especially to like workers, because I was a movie theater worker in high school, and then I worked at Old Navy, and the way that people in general treat service workers is so bad. So even if it's a super like inconvenience to me, I try to make sure that people know that like they're doing their best and that's okay. And so I like to think that that kind of mindset is enough to the world.
What are you most ashamed of?
Ooh, that's it. Well, very honestly, in college, I played around with people's feelings in bad ways, and I think that's what I'm most ashamed of. I was not very nice to people
As in boys?
Have you
potential
changed
suitors. I have, yes. I didn't realize how like impactful you could be on a person until I did some not so great things. And then I was like, wow, that's not good, and I grew.
So you were a player throughout college?
I'm just gonna, next question.
What is the nature of God, assuming that you believe in God?
I actually am not religious, so that is not, but I'm not the person that's like, I'm gonna put other people's religions down. If I had to believe in something, I think would believe in reincarnation, like we come back as different people, but I don't believe in a religion personally.
What are you most proud of?
I think getting my master's degree, my first one at 23, and by 27 I'll have my second. So I think that's what I'm the most proud of right now.
Who is Little Peep?
He's a rapper. Didn't he die though? Wasn't he? He OD'd, right? Yeah. Yeah, he's a rapper.
Do you play Fortnite?
I do. I did one time, and I died very quickly. So I don't play video games unless they're like Animal Crossing. So.
Will you play more Fortnite?
Probably not. No, unless like a friend's sibling wants to play. No one wants to play with them.
When are you gonna play more Fortnite?
Probably never.
What type of music do you enjoy?
I enjoy a lot of different types of music. So like I really like NF. I really like The Neighborhood. I like a lot of indie stuff. I like a lot of like classic rock. Like I grew up on 70s, like Fleetwood Mac. The very first like song I ever remember listening to was AC/DC, one of their songs, Dirty Deeds. So anything, I really don't like OG country music, and screamo stresses me out. It's just like a lot for me to like sensory take in. But really, I'll listen to anything once.
Is it important to you to be remembered after you pass?
Ooh, that's a deep question. I would like to, like, to be honest, death really freaks me out, in the way that, like, in 80 years, like, if you have, like, grandchildren, they'll remember you, but eventually, like, in 3 generations, you'll be forgotten. So sometimes I'm like, I want to do something really, like, prolific with my life, and then other times I'm like, well, there's, like, 7 billion of us, so
If
I don't know.
you could choose your last words, what would you choose to say?
Ooh. I was here for a good time, not for a long time. I think something like that.
Have you ever been in trouble with the cops?
Never. I've had friends who have, and I've had to like dissipate, but I have never been in trouble with.
Not
Oh,
with a
would you count?
speeding
Okay,
ticket?
I was just gonna ask. Like, I've gotten speeding tickets before, but I haven't got one since out of college. I guess yeah, but never like in a way that would go on like a record.
Do people have a right to be happy, or should they earn it?
You know, I think so. I think that actually, if you look at the world, the most happy people are people that don't have a lot. And like we as an American society, we're very materialistic. And it's always like, I'm not happy until I have this. But if you don't have a lot, you learn to find happiness in like the smallest things. So I don't think you should earn it. I just think like happiness is almost like a decision, unless you have like a chemical balance in your brain, and that's like a different story. But I think sometimes people choose not to be happy because they love to complain. That makes sense.
Is suicide justifiable or selfish?
If it's like an assisted suicide, in my opinion, someone has a really, like, it's going through a really painful disease, is not going to have a good quality of life, and our medical system is so expensive. I think in that situation, it's justified. I think that's a hard question. It's a really sad thing. And I think that it really reflects on our ability as a society to not be there for people when they need it. Like with social media, we are so connected, but at the same time, like, I don't think people realize like the finite changes in people that could help predict, like, you know, they're starting to get depressed, or that's like a path for them.
What is your own biggest flaw, in your opinion?
I really care what people think about me. I really do. I don't want to, but I want to be liked by everyone. And I know that you can't be liked by everyone, so it's this like war inside of my psyche, I think would be that.
Is there anybody who you wish was still in your life?
I actually had a friend named Mariah who committed suicide like 7 years ago, and I miss her almost every day. So I would like her to be back, for
Is
sure.
it okay to lie to someone to prevent them from getting their feelings
Oh my
hurt?
God, for sure, 100%. I think white lies are no big deal. If it's like I murdered someone and I'm not going to tell you because it was your son, that's a bad lie. But I think like little white lies are fine, because I've always grown up with the idea that like if you're gonna like tell someone something, if they can't fix it within like a minute, just keep it to yourself. You know what I mean?
Have you ever said a swear word in class?
Yes. I accidentally said a swear word when I was a student teacher, and I felt so bad about it. So I've definitely accidentally cussed. I will be honest about that. But never like bad words.
What about outside of class?
Oh, all the time. I think the hardest thing coming back from quarantine was like being able, like, and over the summer too, is making sure I watch my language.
Is there just like a switch in your head, like when you're out, like when you walk out of the school doors, like you just feel like you can cuss?
I don't think it's necessarily like a switch, but it's like the environment you're in. Like I'm like a professional, so I want to make sure I behave that way. But if I'm like with my friends, like I don't have to be that professional person.
How would you rate this interview on a scale of 1 to 1,000?
Is which one's the good and which one's the bad?
1,000 is the best interview possible. 1 is just.
I think I'd say like an 800. Your questions were very good, and I liked them a lot, but they jumped. So like I would ask like what does FR mean? Who's little peep first, and then like hit the hard ones, or like sandwich them, like the easy, the real deep ones, and then like the. But
Good.
yeah,
I like that.
I liked the questions a lot. I did not expect those questions to be asked. So good job. Oh, it's gonna fall.
Do you want to shake hands, elbows?
Let's vote.